What's up, guys? Jake Miller here. I just did an interview with the Zach Sang Show. We talk about cats, sushi, Dan's dislike of sushi, music, and a lot of other stuff. You should watch it.
Hello, beautiful human. My name is Zach. That is Dan, and we welcome back to the studio for the first time in this studio. But for, I don't know, you've been on the show a bunch.
Yeah.
We welcome back Jake Miller.
Hey.
Thank you.
Love that clap. Do you remember the first time you ever came on the show back in New York City?
Yeah, of course. That was the morning of the Starland Ballroom show, or maybe like
Best Buy Theater show.
Yeah. Maybe the next day was the Jersey show at Starland Ballroom. But yeah, I remember like telling you how the floor was like going crazy for Collide.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I remember that day because it was a very, well, it was a weekend, and we did that interview on a Saturday. But also, you had very different energy around you. Like, it couldn't be further opposite from the Jake Miller that shows up today.
Wait, why? I need to know.
I mean, you literally showed up with 27 people in your posse.
No.
Yes.
No.
You had
it was probably my band because we were on the floor.
you had a security guard.
Oh, yeah.
You were wearing sunglasses inside, and I was like, "Can you see me?"
Yeah. Well, I was like 23 maybe.
Oh yeah, we were the same age. Yeah,
This
baby.
is 2013.
So we were.
13?
Oh my God,
yeah,
you were
9
younger
years
than
ago.
that. You were 22, 21.
I'm 30 this year.
Mazel tov.
Getting up there.
I am. I'm getting up there.
Different
I
world.
feel 30.
Do you actually physically feel 30?
I'm feeling older for sure. Yeah. I'm
Well,
seeing differences in my body, my skin. I'm tired, like a lot more. Like, yeah, I go to sleep pretty early now.
So it's sleep? That's where you're seeing your age?
I feel like back like a few years ago, like I would be able to stay up till like 2 or 3, no problem. Now it's like midnight. I'm done. Pass that on the couch. My lower back like is starting to have some issues, but no, a lot of good things too coming with growing up. Obviously, I feel really good about turning 30. Like a lot of the people that I have talked to about turning 30 who are already 30 are like, yeah, it's great. Like don't be scared to hit 30. But I'm really excited.
Let me know. I'm frightened.
How old are you again?
I'm 29, but as of May,
Okay.
so I still have a year left.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just a number.
It's
true.
That's the rumor. Back to the first time I met you.
Yeah.
Because it sticks with me. A lot of things have come and gone, but the one thing has stayed the same is Scooty back there.
Scooter. Yeah.
Your boy.
That's my ride or die. We'll never leave each other. That's my best friend right there.
There is something different and special. I mean, literally, I've watched everybody from your life.
Yeah.
The first day I met you all those years ago in 2013. Disappear.
Well, I mean, it's funny because Scott is like the one who's, always with me. So people see him, tour manager, friend, whatever you want to call him. But, Kevin.
Yeah, he's been around that long.
Just came from his house, literally from your interview. Joey, who was my DJ. I was just playing one-on-one basketball with him yesterday.
But he's not a part of the crew anymore.
Not part of the crew anymore.
Still family.
But I mean, still, yeah. I mean, we're all going to dinner together tonight. So even all the way on the other side of the country, because we weren't living in LA at that point, we've all pretty much moved to LA now, 10 years later, and we're all still just as close as we ever were. So it's a beautiful thing.
How do you meet somebody like Scooter?
Scooter reached out to maybe my dad in like 2012 or 2013 before I ever went on my first tour. I barely had any fans. You know him. He's early on everything. So somehow he found me on Facebook or YouTube and said, whenever it's time for you guys to go on your first tour, can I come and sell merch? So he started off as my merch guy, then kind of graduated to tour manager because he knows everything about how to get free check bags at United and how to get this and that. And now he's just part of the management team. He's just my best friend. He's just, he's there for everything, for anything I need.
You've learned the most since 2013. I mean, you've gone through a couple different labels, but what you learn at the end of that is you.
Yeah.
You're the most important thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it seems like I say it in this new song, but it seems like I've lived like a million lives. Like, not I didn't even mean to say that, but
which is another
a million lives. Yeah, another song that I've made. But it seems like I've lived so many lives. Like especially since I started making music, like so many ups and downs. Been through so many different labels, so many managers, so many agents, and I'm still here, which is pretty cool. I'm still. I hope to think that I'm growing as an artist every day. I'm getting better and better, and I still have my fans rocking with me, and we're still able to go on tour 10 years later and, playing awesome shows and still with the same crew. So It's really awesome.
What are those gross indicators to you? What do you look at data? Like, how do you
Yeah.
tell if you're growing or getting better every day?
I
Like,
definitely look at like the analytics. I don't let it, get to me, or I don't obsess over it the way that I used to, back in the day. There's just too much to look at now, too many platforms. Like when I first came on your show, there was no TikTok. There was hardly an Instagram.
yeah, there was only one place to like stream music at the time.
It was YouTube.
Yeah,
and
YouTube, iTunes.
But yeah, I mean, I check those stats a lot because it is my job to know, if I'm going in the right direction, if I'm not, how to change it. But I think as you just get older, you just realize the most important thing is to just do what you love, which to me is making music. Do it with the people that you love, which I do. I only set up sessions with people that I love, and that I have great chemistry in the room with, and I just have good sessions with the people that I am actually friends with, and that's really all I can do. I mean, I know how this industry is now. Like I know how hard it is, and I know how many stars have to align on top of being talented, on top of doing this and that. Like you need to have so many things that like the normal person outside of the music industry would never really even think about these things. And it's really hard, especially when you're not on a major record label, which I haven't been for a long time. But yeah, I'm just trying to make the best music as possible.
But since then, have you seen, like, your art's only gotten better, no?
Thank you. I hope so. I think so. I mean, it's hard to tell because I always try to make different stuff. So like the stuff that I'm about to release in this, upcoming year is a lot different than, the heartbreak stuff that I was doing. So it's kind of hard to compare the two, but yeah, I mean, the production I think is getting better. The songwriting is getting better. Sorry, I'm not even looking at you. I'm just
No, that's fine. I'm just enjoying it.
Just wanted to let you know I see you over there.
I see you
Are
too.
you playing with a tennis ball?
Yeah, I am.
I love tennis balls.
Yeah.
That was like, there was one show, sorry to sidetrack. There was one show I did in like 2012 or 2013, and it was me opening for Asher Roth. And at the time, I'm like, this guy seems so cool and low key. And he validated it because we shared a dressing room, and the only thing on his rider was a
Case
can
of
of
tennis
balls,
balls?
so he could just throw them off the wall.
That's kind
He
of what I
didn't
do. I
have
just
any
walk around here. I
alcohol.
just bounce the tennis ball.
Yeah,
It's like relieving.
yeah, it was really cool.
Your
Anyways,
first show was
sorry.
opening for Snoop Dogg, yeah?
That was my first show. I was still in high school. I was a senior in high school.
How do you get that gig?
I was like just starting to make music. I think I kind of knew like a local show promoter, and he just gave me my first shot. And at first I'm like, there's no way I'm doing this. Like the whole crowd's going to hate me. I've never performed before. I'm going to suck. But I brought like 9 of my best friends on stage with me and brought half the school out. And it was like the night that changed my life in terms of realizing like being on stage is what I have to do forever. Like that's my favorite thing, being on stage.
Were you rapping at that moment?
Oh yeah. I mean, hardly. I sucked at it, but never sang a note in my life at that point. Didn't even really write my own music. Like I had this manager that found me, and he was like, I have this guy who's going to help you write your lyrics. And so we put out like 3 or 4 songs, one called Dreamin', one called like Sit Back and Relax. I think I wrote that one. But a lot of those really, really early ones, I didn't really have much of a hand in creatively. I didn't really know what to expect. I had no clue about the music industry. And my first manager said, we're going to have to get you to perform. You're going to have to play shows. And I'm like, one thing that I got to tell you straight up before we like get into this, I will make music. I want to be famous, but I'll never, ever play a show. Like that's just not who I am. And then the Snoop Dogg opportunity came about, and I couldn't say no. So
I'm so confused. How does one plan on getting famous?
I didn't have any clue about the industry. I just wanted to make music and throw it on YouTube. And at that point, I didn't even really think about performing. Like it wasn't even a thought in my head. I was such a shy kid and growing up and in high school. But then I got that opportunity. I'm not going to say no to opening for one of the biggest icons in music. So I did it. And it was life-changing. It flipped a switch for me.
Wild.
Yeah.
Fast forward to today, which you say the music's going to be different than Silver Linings Part 2, right? Which is more,
Yeah.
how would you describe it?
Well, I wouldn't say this music is too much different than Silver Lining 2, which I, just put out last year. I'm not trying to be this artist that has to come out with something drastically different every time I release something. But Silver Lining 2 was definitely like my proudest project. And I think this is just kind of like an extension of that. It's just really great, rich production. Obviously John Bellion inspired because he's like my favorite. I think you can hear a lot of him in the new song that I just dropped, 8 Tattoos. But yeah, I mean, the content, I guess, is different than what I was writing about last time I was here, I guess. It's just fun stuff that, is, you know, the way that I'm feeling in my life right now, which is just, I just feel really relaxed and great about my personal life. You know, music and my career is like one thing. Like I'm going to try to make the best music as possible and let the cards fall where they may. But like my personal life, I couldn't be happier about. I have great friends, great girlfriend, great family. I live in California, like going on a lot of like cool road trips and hikes, and I'm spending a lot of time outside, and it's just, yeah. And I think that kind of all spills into my music that I'm making these days.
You're good looking. You're rich.
Stop.
Yeah, I have a hot girlfriend. I mean, life's
have a hot
great.
girlfriend.
I mean, through the lens I see.
Thank you. I mean,
A little
nothing
jealous.
is exactly what you see online, obviously, but yeah, I mean, I can't complain about my personal life. I really am happy.
Accurate enough to write songs about it and
Sure.
to have to draw inspiration from it.
Very true.
You're a cat dad.
I'm a double cat dad now.
Double cat dad.
Yeah. I love my cats. Like, I swear to God, like, they are two of my favorite things that I've ever had, ever. Like, more than friends sometimes. My girlfriend had this cat named Loca when we first met. I'm like, you know, I'm super allergic when I come over your house, like, please, like, put her away. I kind of started to get closer with her. She didn't really like me at first, and then I said, let's move to California together, but don't bring the cat. She's like, I'm obviously bringing the cat. It's like my baby. So she brings the cat to California. I slowly get less and less allergic because she's sleeping pretty much on my head every night. Had some rough nights, though, before I got, you know, not allergic. And then I just fell so in love with her that we just got another one. Tiny little, and they both look like, what is it, like Puss in Boots from Shrek. Like the tiny little, like, who couldn't love these cats? But I'm not like a fan of all cats, just these two.
I want to go back to Silver Lining Part 2.
You don't want to keep talking about cats?
No,
Let's talk about the cats.
I honestly hate cats.
That's what you say until you have
Most
a
people
cat.
do. Yeah, I always hated cats too. But
I'm
anyway,
like,
Silver Lining,
I'm like
Silver Lining
so okay with never owning a cat. I'm so sorry. I love my dogs. I have two of them. They have their own problems.
She gets some cats.
You say it's your most proudest work. Why? What? Why are you attached to it? Why does it fill you with pride? And also, like, how do you define that?
I think, I mean, just on top of like the artistry itself, being in all these sessions and working with amazingly talented people and just seeing the growth in like the actual music, I think I spent the longest on this album. I think it was like 17 songs, and I started like half of it over the pandemic, half of it kind of spilled into the pandemic. And a lot of these songs, just like, I kind of relate really good times and memories to like 5 or 6 of the songs in this album. Like Save Me. I was on the beach in Florida during the pandemic making a homemade iPhone music video with my girlfriend. Like, that's what I think of when I think of Save Me. Click, we just made a really cool music video. It kind of had its moment on TikTok, and I think it was helping a lot of people at the time because it's, you know, a song about I'm not really where I want to be yet, but one day it'll click. Jumpin', I shot a really cool music video in Malibu and spent a lot of time doing that. And I don't know, I felt like over the pandemic, I put out one song like every 2 months. So each song had like its moment, and each song felt like, it wasn't just kind of like, oh, great song, what's next? Like, it really had like its moment to live, and I had time to promote it because I wasn't doing anything besides sitting at home because it was in the middle of a pandemic. So I don't know, I just look back on the track list on Silver Lining 2 and think like there's a lot of songs that just make me think of great times and great memories, and I think hopefully the fans feel the same way.
Do these songs make you proud after they're released or before they're released?
I'm obviously proud of them like when I make them, but there's like the pit in my stomach of like, will people like it? Will it flop? Will it come out and people will be like, oh, this is great, and then 2 days later it's just another song and people are saying what's next? But it wasn't like that with these songs, and I think a lot of them just connected. I mean, Ross and Rachel, when I think of Ross and Rachel, my second or third song in this album, I think about going on tour and having 3 different couples come on stage after playing Ross and Rachel and proposing, and us watching that at the show. And they specifically wanted to do it during or after Ross and Rachel. And it's like, that's such a moment. Like, that's just a song I made with some friends, and all of a sudden people are connecting with it so much that they want to make it like the song that they, get down on one knee to in front of a crowd of people at my show.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that album was really special. Maybe it was the time, like, because of, where I was mentally, and just the world kind of felt like it stopped for a few years, obviously, as we know. And I don't know. Maybe that's why.
Your tours have always been like a safe space, judgment-free space. You've always interacted with people in the crowd. You used to bring a couch on tour with you.
I did. That was my mom's idea. I had a song called My Couch. This was back in the day of the
Time ago.
first interview. Yeah, like 2014 or 15. Great times. The OG fans know about the couch.
You bring no seating with you today on stage?
No furniture.
No furniture in the
No
bus?
furniture. We bring some cool lights. But yeah, no couch anymore.
You mentioned songs that have impact, right? Ross and Rachel is a song that obviously people want to propose their love to another person to. Million Lives is another song with really great impact. Is that still part of the set list as you plan on going on tour?
It's not.
Again?
It's not.
Really?
It hasn't been for a while.
Why?
I mean, it's really hard to have that balance of like wanting to, like knowing that there's so many people in the crowd who have been there since day one and who want to hear those songs that you made at the beginning of your career. But then there's the side of you that's like, you know, hopefully I've done my job and I've made a lot of new fans, and a lot of people in this crowd, you know, probably don't know of those old songs. Plus, on top of all that, I want to play my new stuff because I'm the most proud of it. I don't want to just keep playing something I've played for 10 years. I kind of want to, you know, retire it and not overkill it and just let it be that special thing that I did years ago.
There's a balance though with that. Like if I show up to see an Elton John show and he doesn't play Rocket Man, I'm gonna revolt.
That's a smash though. This is a song that everybody knows. If you discovered Elton John yesterday or, you know, 40 years ago, you know that song. A Million Lives is like something I made as a kid. I was a different person. I was rapping like.
Do you not like the song?
No, I like it. It did so much for a lot of people, and it helped a lot of people, and it helped my career. It helped take me to, I guess, like the next level. But I mean, musically, when I just listen to it, just listening to the music, no, I like my new stuff way better. I like the message in it, obviously, but it doesn't even compare to my old stuff.
Totally.
I'm really, really proud of my new stuff, and it's
No, sonically totally different.
yeah.
Did
totally
save a lot
different.
of lives though.
Hopefully, I mean,
I thought so. I mean, you told a lot of stories attached to it
true.
on stage to that song.
I've heard a lot of great, powerful stories from fans about how that song and other songs like I'm Alright or Ghost, songs I made way back in the day, have really helped a lot of people. And I think to this day, that's like my greatest achievement, just as a musician, like seeing firsthand how many people like my songs and my lyrics have truly touched. Like I see people at every show, multiple people with my lyrics handwritten on their tattooed on their bodies, which is like just insane. So yeah, I think that's my greatest achievement so far as an artist.
I Hope I Die First, all capital letters. Intense title.
Yeah.
Intense
The
story.
last song off of Silver Lining 2.
Is that essentially like, from my understanding, it sounds like you're talking to somebody you love.
Yeah, no, of course. We actually made that song a week before everything shut down. I remember like being in the studio and it was like 6 or 7 people in the studio, all my best friends. And they're like, yeah, all these sessions are getting canceled. Everyone's going home. Like, I think this COVID thing might be a real thing. And I remember thinking like, it'll blow over next week. And next week the world shut down.
2 years later.
That was like, yeah. So that was like the last song that I made before everything changed. But yeah, that song is just about how, you know, whether it's in a relationship or your family or your friends, like the world is just getting so much crazier and colder these days. And it's like, if I didn't have you with me by my side, like I don't know how I would survive it. So it did kind of come at a perfect time, honestly. But yeah, I really like that song.
And 8 Tattoos is going to spark a whole new era for you, correct?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's not some crazy drastic change. People aren't going to listen to it and be like, who is this? But I love it. I think it's really cool. It's about kind of just like the growth and change that I've seen in my life over the past decade. We were writing it, and we were like, is this about a relationship, an ex-relationship, or is it about you talking to the kids you went to school with, saying that how much you changed and, you know, you wouldn't recognize me anymore? And we're like, it could be both. So that's why it kind of, we got really excited about the fact that it was like kind of more universal and not just about like a relationship or something.
Why was it the right song to introduce a new chapter?
That's a good question. We had a few that were contenders, but I'm with Empire Records now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really excited about it. And so I have a lot more people around me who I respect their opinion. And I pretty much said, hey guys, these are like the 3 or 4 songs that I've made recently that I love, that I wouldn't mind, you know, coming, you know, as this new era, like being the first single. And which one do you guys like? And everybody was like, let's do 8 tattoos. That one's really cool and fresh and summery. And I'm like, let's do it.
Are there 8 tattoos? Like, is it about something like
Wait,
real?
It's the funniest thing. The other day I'm at home and me and my girlfriend are just like talking about 8 tattoos. And I realized I have 9. Because I always forget about this one that I just got on the back of my arm. So I'm like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
What does the one on the back of your arm mean?
We just got it on tour. It was the Hi, I Missed You tour, and everybody on the tour got it. It's kind of like the logo.
That's cool.
I don't know if you can see it, but we all went on like our last day off and got tattoos together. All of us, like 10 of us. And I always forget it's there. I had to count like 10 times, and we're like, oh no, gotta change the song.
Didn't you a couple years ago say you weren't going to get any more tattoos, that you were only going to get one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well, did it?
Nope. I do think I'm done now.
No
I
way.
do. I honestly do,
way.
because I'm getting to the point where I don't want to have a bunch of tiny ones.
Yeah.
It's either stop now or get a sleeve, and I can't get a sleeve. I just can't. I want to.
Why can't you?
Commitment?
I just can't.
Why? I mean, you literally go, I want to, but I can't.
I don't know. I just don't want to be that guy. I think my family would disown me. My
Who's that
grandma
guy?
would definitely disown me.
Who's that guy who has a sleeve? Let's define him.
Honestly, when I look at a guy with a sleeve, I'm like, that guy looks really, really cool.
Yeah, me too.
But there's some people like my parents or my grandma or people just
Hooligan.
Yeah, who they look at tattoos and they're like, that looks terrible. So like I already have a lot in my parents and my family's, perspective. And if I got a whole sleeve, they just wouldn't understand.
I think it looked good.
I think it would too.
But aren't a lot of your tattoos music related to your career?
They're yeah, or like the places that mean something to me. But
So you're still young. You still have this whole career ahead of you. Don't you think you're going to go out on tour and make something else? And you're like, I guess I'll add another tattoo to this one.
probably.
Yeah, there's no way you're done.
Probably. We got me and my girlfriend got matching smiley face tattoos in Hawaii.
That's cute.
So why do you keep them only to your arms?
I was actually gonna get this one on my thigh. Scott got it on his thigh.
Take your pants off, let's see.
Take him off. He's actually
Oh, he took his pants off. He's been waiting for somebody to ask to see it.
My thighs are too pale. I don't know. I just figured, I wear a lot of short sleeves, t-shirts, and they kind of all show. And I really do think I'm gonna put this on the record. I think I'm done.
I feel like you put that on the record before, so
Yeah, you did
but
put it on the record
meaningless.
But it does mean something more now.
Speaking of commitment, you committed to some golden ticket winners.
Yeah.
Is that in existence? Like people who did
You mean back in the day?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
literally you put golden tickets in albums. Correct?
Yeah, it was like Willy Wonka.
Yeah, and there was 5 of them, and
I'm Willy Wonka. Yeah, there was 5, I believe.
and they would win.
3 of them were found.
Oh wow!
Yeah, 3 of them were found. They were like, this was back when like FYE was a thing.
Of course.
I don't think it is anymore.
That means the other two are still sitting on the shelf?
Yeah, exactly. That's why all the golden tickets were never found, because FYE boxed all their stuff up and went out of business. But yeah, Best Buy was selling CDs. Target selling. Honestly, that's probably why they were never found. I mean,
Yeah,
there weren't that many CDs. We didn't print that many, but a lot of these places stopped selling physical CDs.
literally right around that time.
Yeah, I know.
That's wild.
Crazy. Yeah.
So it's at FYE, and the prize was a lifetime access to your concerts. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do people call you up and go, "Yo, I want my ticket"?
Nope. The 2 people that found them, I have no idea where they are, who they are, if they're still fans, if they threw it out, ripped it up.
But they
I
are
have no
legally
clue.
contracted. I mean, they have access if they want it.
Technically, if they showed up with a golden ticket at one of my shows, I'd be like, holy shit, how do you have that? But yeah, I haven't seen one in like 8 years.
Didn't you try to bring back the golden tickets with NFTs?
Yep.
How'd that go?
Bad.
Maybe just give up on the whole golden ticket thing.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, I recently got into NFTs about a year ago, but it seems like 10 years ago. Because I've just been like trying to research as much as possible about them. But yeah, I decided let's try to put out our own NFT. It's pretty much like 5 golden tickets, and whoever bids the highest on these, has free access to shows forever.
So it's these people, and then the other 2 got them from FYE. Got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think like 3 people bid on them, and that was it. But I'm just gonna remain like an NFT collector rather than an NFT creator for right now.
Do you own them?
Yeah, I own a lot.
Whoa.
I really like NFTs. I mean, I look at them these days just as much as I look at my music analytics.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what do you own? What do you got?
You
What's in
know,
your
some
wallet?
moonbirds, some monkeys.
You got a Bored Ape, right?
I had a mutant ape.
A mutant ape.
I sold it before it all went downhill. Everything is crashed right now, but yeah.
Wow.
I'll like get on the phone with my dad and talk about NFTs, and my mom's like on speaker. She's like, "Do we have to talk about this again?" But they actually both know a lot about it because it's something that I've researched a lot. I've actually I've like tapped into an untapped market. I figured, how do I use my followers and my music to make money in the NFT world? And so what I'll do is I'll reach out to these creators of these NFT projects who just made stupid amounts of money selling all these NFTs, and I'll say, can I make you a theme song? I've done like 20, and I get paid every time in cryptocurrency. I don't think anybody really is doing that. And it's like, it takes me 30 minutes. I'll write a fun little song, whatever they want me to.
And what are they
about.
giving you? Ethereum?
Ethereum.
How much Ethereum do you get for a crypto kingpins?
Whatever I ask for. No, I normally ask for like 2 or 3 Ethereum, which right now it's not worth much, but a few months ago, one Ethereum was like $4,000 something.
Whoa.
Yeah. So when I ask for Ethereum instead of like US dollars, it makes it easier for them to be like, okay, because Ethereum might go down, it might go up, whatever. It doesn't really matter to them. But yeah, it's kind of like my side hustle right now, and I'm really liking it.
Sick.
And on top of that, all these NFTs have like,
Blockchain?
Discords with all of these people in it who are
talk to them.
Yeah, and so I'll jump in and kind of make new fans, and
Sick.
and they'll all hear the theme song, and they'll all go check out my music. So it's a really cool kind of side hustle to not only make new fans but make some money.
So is your audience going to go from like young girls to crypto bros?
Maybe.
That'd be hilarious.
I definitely gained a pretty solid. I mean, it's small compared to my fan base, but a pretty solid like crypto, group that knows about me that had no clue who I was before.
That's pretty cool.
How many NFTs do you own?
I sold a lot, but now I have like maybe 8.
Enough to like have them on display at your house.
I have one displayed in my house.
Do you really?
Yeah. Brandy makes fun of me all the time in my studio.
Now, I know I did just say your audience is all young girls, but I probably shouldn't have said that. But like, who do you think your audience is today?
Yeah, and these days it's definitely not young girls. It's maybe 60% girls, 40% guys, 60 girls.
There's like
only
60
girls in the world right now. You like my music. I would say it's like 60-40, and they're all college and up. Yeah, every time I go on tour, it just surprises me because I'll look out the bus window and see everyone in line. I'm like, these people are like my age. This is crazy.
Well, there's a lot of people you grew up with too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those like ride or die fans who haven't left me since 2013, like I owe everything to them. Like they're always at the shows. I think they think that I think they're annoying, always popping up, but like it makes me so happy to see them at every show, like always supporting. Like my parents know them, like they know my family. Like it's just, they're kind of more like friends at this point, just because I really do owe them so much. They're kind of like, what's it called? Like street team? Street team. Yeah. Where they like not only listen to my music and support me, but like actively try to get other people to listen and support, which is like the fans that you need as an artist.
They spread the word.
Yeah. They're great.
I'm fascinated by the fact that you're in the crypto scene, in the NFT world.
Yeah. Trying not to let it obsess me, because there was a minute a few months ago where I'm like, okay, this is taking over music. But yeah, I mean, obviously music is my baby, but this is like a fun little thing when I'm, bored on the couch for 30 minutes. So
what do you think of NFTs in music? Like, I have one NFT.
Do you?
I was gifted it.
Nice. By who?
It's from After Party.
Okay.
It's like some utopian, I don't know, something.
Cool.
Some picture.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a moving picture. That's what I look at it. But I know it's more than a moving picture.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a stock, basically. You know, it goes up and down in value, but that's like the exciting thing that I think a lot of artists are kind of looking towards, because the music NFT space is like kind of starting, but like we don't really know the full potential of it. So I think artists are all kind of waiting around to like try to be on the first wave, because it's coming, like for sure, where you're selling albums or songs as NFTs, and like your fans are getting like splits from the royalties as well as you. Like that's all down the road.
I've heard that for months.
Yeah.
It's just such a retooling of how the system works.
Yeah, for sure.
Does it really have the potential to be successful?
Who knows? All of this stuff is so like just up and down. It could all go away tomorrow. So that's kind of why I try to not just get so crazy about it. But it's just fun kind of diving into like a new world that like a lot of people just don't really know much about.
Totally. But music is forever.
Music is forever. Music will never go up and down. Music is here to stay.
8 Tattoos is here. We're going to play it in a few. Also, link in the description below if you want to listen to any of Jake Miller's music. Do you have a date for the album?
We don't, no.
Do you have an album finished?
I would say I have half an album finished, but we're kind of gonna release single by single, let them all kind of waterfall into an album like I did with Silver Lining 2, and by probably early next year we'll have an album. Yeah.
But is it done?
No, I mean I have half of an album done. Not mixed, not mixed or mastered, but songs that I know are gonna come out. They have to come out because I love them.
Is that like how are you building an album today compared to before? Are you trying to tell a cohesive story, or are you just putting out songs that you like when you like them?
I feel like every artist kind of sits down and says like, all right, this next album is gonna be the one. Let's like make every song like cohesive so it tells a story, and then at least for me, I always try to do that, and then by the end of it, it's like, all right, this is just a bunch of good songs that don't have anything to do with each other. They don't tell any story. They're completely different from the next, but still kind of similar. And that's kind of like what all my albums have been. Besides maybe like 2 a.m. in LA, like that was just a reoccurring theme of sadness and heartbreak. But Silver Lining 2 was just kind of a compilation of songs that I loved, and I think that that's what this next album will be too.
Do you have any rules as it relates to like releasing music, or is it still just you?
I mean, I have Empire now. I have a new PR agent. I have a manager that I signed with like right before the pandemic. So I have a full team for the first time in a while, which I'm really excited about. But in terms of rules, like in terms of like making the music,
yeah, I mean creatively, but also release wise, is it still just solely up to you?
I mean, there's nothing not happening that I want to happen. It's more just like, hey guys, what can you bring to the table? And if it sounds like a good idea, I'm like, absolutely, let's green light it. But there's nothing that I like wish I was doing or something I was putting out that like my team won't let me. Like I'm definitely too old and too knowledgeable about this industry to ever let somebody at this point in my life say like, you can't put that song out. Like, we know you love it, Jake, but you can't put that out. Or like I've seen a lot of people on TikTok say like, oh, my label won't let me put this out until it goes viral on TikTok. Absolutely not. Like I made a TikTok joking about that. I would never get in bed with a label that would not let me put out a song that I feel strongly about. It's like, I'm almost 30 years old. I've been doing this for a while. Like I'm not new to this industry. I'm not gonna, work with people that are telling me what music to put out. That's all that I have.
You play the game in a different way. Like it's very you isolated. You're not. The other factors don't matter, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I signed with Empire, I pretty much said, "This is where I'm at. This is what I know. This is how it's got to be. I would love your opinions and your support and your help, but if I feel strongly about something, this is how it's got to be." I mean, I don't know. I think that that's the only way to kind of remain true to yourself, especially about the music. Like, I went through a phase where I was kind of letting the label dictate what to put out, and they weren't even letting me write my own songs for a while, and it just felt like I was not even a musician anymore. I was just like some kind of like face to it all. But obviously I don't want that.
No.
I don't think any artist does.
But also I can make the case that like you've had your most successful period after that record label.
For sure. I mean, I don't know if it was because of the music that we were putting out at that time, because we know like 2015, 2016, I had like a moment. Like it was a really special moment. But I don't really necessarily think it was because of the music I was putting out. I don't think it was because that music was better than this music. I think the time was just so different. Like I talk about it all the time, like with my crew. It's like, I remember a time where you could count like 10 male pop artists, and I was one of them. Like it was like Justin Bieber, Austin Mahone, Cody Simpson, like Emblem 3, MKTO, me. That's really like it. There was it was like a radio cycle where like those were like Jason Derulo, like that was it. And then like Vine hit and TikTok hit, and Spotify became more important, and now there's 1,000 more, amazing artists coming up every day. So the competition is just so much crazier. And I think that's why that was like a moment. Like I think I was kind of doing something that not a lot of people were doing back then.
But aren't your most streamed songs from a time that wasn't with Warner?
No, like Dazed and Confused, Rumors, First Flight Home. That was all.
No, that was
around the Warner
but
era,
like,
I think.
You have some really. I was just looking at it today.
Or maybe it was right before Warner, and Warner kind of came on board, and everything just kind of elevated together.
Rumors, Parties, Click.
We have a song called Automatic that we put
Automatic,
out.
22 million
Automatic is crushing
streams.
it. Shout out Fly by Midnight.
Yeah,
Some of
what
my
is
best
that?
friends.
I met them at your show.
Yeah, they're
What is
some of my
that?
best friends.
They're two guys. I
What
know,
is that?
I know that they're two men.
They're two amazing people. They've become two of my best friends. Brought them on tour, and before the tour, they reached out to me and said, you know, we want to have you on this song. Can you come through the studio and we want to play it for you? And it was Automatic. It was already written. And I'm like, this is a smash. I've heard it once and I already know all the words to it. And we put it out. We went on tour. It was doing good. And then all of a sudden, and now it's getting like, it has like 20 million. It got like 10 million streams in the last like couple months. So hopefully it keeps going. But just to go back to the point, like, of how awesome it is to do this with the people you love. Like the fact that now my number one most streamed song is with my two best friends is like such a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we text every time it hits another million. We're like 23 million, 24 million.
Something you like couldn't really facilitate it before with
No.
Warner.
Right. No, I mean, I had no really control of who I was getting into the studio with. They were just sending me addresses and saying, these are the people you're working with today. Some of those people were great. Most of them were great, but I mean, they weren't my friends, you know?
Are we going to work with Fly by Midnight again for this album?
Maybe. We're both pretty busy. They're extremely busy with writing. But also I feel like we both are at an understanding where like, keep needing to cough.
There's water.
There's water
next
right
to
there
you.
for you.
We're both kind of like at an understanding of like our friendship is so awesome. And like, it's become like to the point where like we are like, they're in my circle. I'm in their circle. Like I was at their bachelor party, at their weddings, like they're my best friends. And I know how it is when you mix business and pleasure. And when we made Automatic, we weren't as close as we were now. So I think we kind of both have like an understanding of like, we did something awesome. We made Automatic. We went on tour. I want to go on tour with them again. But in terms of like making music, because there's so much that comes along with making music, like, you know, the conversations afterwards with the managers, with the money and the splits. And like, I would just rather avoid that with like my best friends. So I'm not sure if we'll write again, but hopefully we do. And it could be just easy and
Interesting.
yeah, but who knows?
A rising tide floats all boats, though. You know,
That is true.
you can structure everything to be fair for everyone.
That's true, for sure. And obviously, I would never want to, you know, make a song with people and then
But it does
make
get
them
messy.
feel gypped.
Of
Like,
course.
Yeah, but it does get messy. Almost every single time you do splits with anybody after you make a song, you know, they want more than we want to give them, vice versa. And it gets a little awkward, which is why you let the managers do it. Because if the artist had to do it, no artist would be friends.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's true.
But yeah, we're going to let Automatic do its thing for a while.
And 8 Tattoos, it is here, sparking a whole new era. How did this song begin?
Pretty much like that.
You did that or you heard that?
No, it's just like a little percussion thing that we did.
Who's we?
Me, Alex Wilk, who produced it, and Brett Truitt, who I wrote it with.
So you hear that and what comes to mind?
Well, I mean, that wasn't literally the first thing that we like heard. It was more just like we wrote the song, you know, the bones of it, and then we're like, all right, what should be the intro? What should be the outro? And this was just like one layer of the song that we're like, oh, that if you just solo that could be a cool intro. So, is that what you meant, or you meant like
No,
the first
how-
lyrics?
And yeah, how did it begin in the room?
How did it begin in the room? That was the first day I met either of them. We started a whole different concept. Well, it was like 8 Tattoos. Like last time I've seen you, you know, it's been so long since I've seen you. Now I have new friends in 8 Tattoos, but it sounded completely different. It sounded like a sad Laney song, and it just kind of felt a little weird. And we're like, let's just scrap the beat, try something new. And we just started this cool, like super fun, like bouncy thing. And I was like, wah, 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 wah. And we distorted it, made it all weird. And we're like, okay, that sounds like a cool John Bellion drop. Let's just make like a really cool, fun song with the same theme. And so, yeah, we pretty much just transferred the lyrics onto a cooler beat.
Do you make the beat to match the lyrics?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I mean, the emotion that the lyrics bring, the music should
Follow.
emote the same. Yeah.
Hmm.
But it's funny, like the next night I went to see Billie Eilish at the Forum, and you know, I left the studio with not really having anything besides like a voice memo on my phone. And he was like, all right, I'm going to work on it, send it to you another time. So I go to Billie Eilish. I'm in the Forum. We're drinking. We Ubered. Or actually, we didn't, but I had a friend drive. Drinking a lot. I don't really know much about Billie Eilish. I don't really know any of her music. So I'm like, it's, you know, we're on the floor. I'm with people I love. Like, let's just have fun and get drunk. I go to the bathroom. I'm like, you know, I'm at the stall kind of like drunk, and I get the text from the producer. He's like, here's the first version. And like all I hear is like Billie Eilish, you know, through the walls in this ear. I'm like kind of drunk, and I'm like listening to it while I'm peeing, and I'm like, what is this? Like this sounds nothing like how I just left the studio. Like the beat was just 10 times cooler. And I remember like running back into Billie Eilish into the show and just like being so inspired and like kind of sobering up for a second and thinking like, oh my God, like this is a really cool song I just made. And like now I'm seeing all these people and it's reminding me of my shows and like performing at my shows. So it all felt really excited. Plus I was drunk. So,
So, I mean, hopefully it's good. Yeah.
8 tattoos.
Yeah. I mean, like if you're drunk and you're making these assumptions, are we not questioning
you know how, like,
our.
when you listen to things when you're drunk, they don't sound the same. Like sometimes they're sped up.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is just for like a musician's ear, but there's been times when I've made a song, gone out, come back, and like I'm a little tipsy and I listen to it and like it all sounds like faster or just like weirder, and you kind of know when you're drinking if it sucks. If you listen to it and it's like this is so bad, like this is obviously bad, or like this is really good, you kind of it's like a really good like telling sign.
It's a good indicator.
Yeah, when you're not when you've been drinking a little bit and you listen to it later in the night with fresh ears.
Honest
That's what
ears.
happened. Yeah.
8 tattoos. Listen to the record. There's a link in the description below. Please, please, please. You have a new tour coming too, right?
I do. I'm so excited.
When do you kick it off?
Kick it off August 17th, I believe, in New York City.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, it's not like a full proper tour. It's not like, 33 cities this time. It's going to be like 10 or 11 major cities. It's called the 8 Tattoos Tour. We're actually bringing my personal tattoo artist to a few shows to tattoo my fans before the show.
This is like such a thing now.
Yeah,
People
I thought I
are
was so innovative.
now people are giving away tattoos like nobody's business. It's
Who's doing that?
ridiculous.
Who?
I saw it.
G-Eazy brought his like barber to give people haircuts, but
Oh, that's pretty good. There's a
giving-
Tinder event that was giving out tattoos. I have a friend who's doing a label, an album release that's doing tattoos, and he's doing impromptu therapy, which I think is like really unique to have like on one side a therapist to diagnose
crazy.
you, and then you can get a tattoo, I guess, with your diagnosis if you're feeling up for it.
very random. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
Each his
yeah.
own.
But I like this. So, are you
Yeah.
going to give away free tattoos or what?
So not free. I'm not gonna charge, but I'm gonna let my tattoo artist charge what he would normally charge and take home whatever he
Sick.
charges. But we're gonna say, there's gonna be 8 slots before the show, 8 people, 8 tattoos. You can only get my lyrics tattooed because all of my fans that come to my shows, they all want my handwritten lyrics, my lyrics, whatever. I just said the same thing like twice backwards. I'm just really excited about this idea. But yeah, and he's probably going to take 20, 30 minutes tattoo these people. Hopefully I'll be like around the venue at the time, like doing sound check, running in and out, seeing how it's going. So I think it's definitely different. And I think a lot of my fans are going to be excited about it.
How do they sign up?
We don't know yet. We actually just had a phone call with him yesterday because he's not coming on the whole tour. He's coming to New York City and probably a few shows surrounding New York City. So depending on how, the demand in New York City, we'll just bring him to a few more: Boston, New Jersey, Philly.
What's funny is you don't think you're gonna get any more tattoos, and you're bringing a tattoo artist on the road with
I
you.
know.
Yeah, it doesn't make
He'll
sense.
probably end up tattooing me for sure. Every show. No, but he did this one. He did the tour bus. I got a little tour bus tattoo on this last tour. It was our 10th tour in a tour bus. So me and Kevin got a little tour bus tattoo. It's like our second home.
Yeah, I said you feel more comfortable on the road. You're always touring.
It doesn't feel like I'm always touring anymore. To do one tour a year does not feel like a lot to me.
Yeah.
When you're on the road, especially like halfway through a tour, it's like, wow, like this is exhausting. Like so much fun, but it's just physically draining. But with that being said, yeah, there's nothing better than being on a tour bus with 10 of your best friends. I mean, I had Fly By Midnight on the last tour. We shared a bus. I had Kevin, Scott, Dan, my guitar player. It was just like the best energy and the best like just chemistry. We would watch Squid Games after each show in the tour bus while we're going from, we're in the middle of the desert watching Squid Games on the tour bus. It was a dream come true. It was so much fun.
If you want to go see Jake Miller on tour, I'm going to put a link in the description to like all the tour stops. So click it. Also listen to his music. Link down there. 8 tattoos. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You have any final thoughts there, Daniel?
Yeah. Are you playing any instruments on this new album?
Yeah. I mean, I help produce pretty much every song of mine at this point. I'll go to a session. We'll make a super bare instrumental. I never let anyone cut my vocals. I do that all at my house. So I'll go to a session. We'll make a super generic instrumental. I'll have him send it to me, and then I'll just go home and for the next couple of weeks kind of build on top of the instrumental and cut vocals, and then kind of send that all back to him, and he'll put final touches on it. That's just what pretty much my, game plan now with every song that I do. And so I have a big hand in all the songs that I do now.
Sick.
Has falling in love changed the way you make music?
I don't think so. Not really. I mean, obviously I like writing songs about it, but I wouldn't say it changes the way I make music.
Changes where you grab inspiration from?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, she's like the only person that I'll let like sit in while I'm cutting vocals. So maybe like I sing better when she's sitting behind me. But
That's trust.
yeah, for sure. That's like a vulnerable thing. I don't like cutting vocals in front of other people. It's just like, not only do you want to like hit it right, but like you want like the attitude in your voice to like really like, you just have to be by yourself and in a cool like light lit dark room. Like that's just how I like it. So sometimes Brandy's sitting behind me and falls asleep while I'm just working on the song, and that's kind of that's like how I really like making music these days. I don't know. Just
Adorable.
at home by myself.
You did tease a song, I believe, that talks about being naked and afraid in someone's bed.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one about?
I made that before the pandemic. That was just a fun song. We were like, why don't we make a song called Naked and Afraid? And after the TV show, obviously. And it's just a fun song about like, all it took was one night and I'll never be the same. I'm laying in your bed and now I'm naked and afraid. And it's just about like, going out with a girl or meeting her the first night and falling in love with her in one night, not trying to, and waking up in the morning thinking like, oh my God, I'm in your bed.
Naked and afraid.
I really like you. I'm afraid. It wasn't really based on anything in my life. It was just a fun concept.
I mean, it's just weird because like I've known you for a while, so when I heard the lyric, I just thought of you naked and afraid in some girl's bed. I was like,
No.
yeah.
No. Yeah. Who knows if that one will come out? I have a lot of songs that I love that I don't know if they'll come out, if they'll match like the tone of this album that I'm doing, but I think it will. I really like that one. It's fun.
But you've teased them.
Now all I'm thinking is that every time I hear the song, I'm gonna think of you. Yeah, I tease them. I actually got a call from my manager recently saying stop teasing your songs on social media, because it kind of gives like the people that you wrote, going back to splits and money, like it kind of gives them more leverage. You pretty much just announced you're gonna put this song out at some point, so now they know that you want it. So it's kind of just like you got to be careful with that. So I'm trying not to tease as much music these days. I also have like a fan club that I kind of give them like unreleased music every month. So I'm going to try to just kind of save it for that. I just get so excited after making a song. I just want to show everybody.
But why not just figure out the splits? It can't be that hard.
It's pretty hard sometimes.
Everybody wants all of it.
Yeah. It's pretty hard sometimes, especially when you're close friends. Like you just don't want to ruin a relationship. But yeah, that's like the whole muddy side of the business. But when I get home from a session and I love a song, the first thing I think of is like I want to show everybody, not just text my friends. I want to make a TikToks and see if anybody, see if it has like a weird spark and it goes viral and like.
Yeah, you gauge interest.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hope all the songs that you want to come to light end up coming to light.
Thank you.
And 8 Tattoos.
Yeah.
Starting a new chapter.
We went to sushi recently. You're more than welcome to join us for dinner whenever you want.
Depends
it wasn't
on what,
recently. It was a long time ago, but.
Okay, it depends on what time, because I don't like to leave my house after like 7 p.m.
Swear?
Yeah, I don't. Once the sun goes down, I'm staying home. Say a little afternoon sushi.
Yeah, we'll just come to your house. We'll bring it to your house.
Oh, you don't want to go there.
He lives in just a white room with a lawn chair.
I have no furniture. It's really, my apartment is just an empty studio with a bed, a dresser, and a lawn chair.
Wow.
No
Maybe
lights.
Paint the walls or something.
No.
Well, you said you might be coming to the valley, so.
I've been thinking about it.
All right,
I'm
so
thinking about it.
we can grab some sushi.
Yeah.
Maybe. He eats only avocado roll.
Is there any fish in it?
No, he doesn't eat
It's
fish.
just avocado and rice?
I mean, Jake, I'm a pretty boring person.
Come on.
He's incredible.
Sushi and not even get fish?
No, I just get avocado rolls.
It's avocado wrapped in rice?
Oh, sweet potato roll too.
Oh, no, I don't like sweet potatoes. It's avocado,
Wrapped in
rice.
seaweed and
and-
wrapped in.
That's it.
Dude.
He's basic, dude.
I went to Japan before the pandemic and just it opened my eyes to sushi and honestly just all foods. Like I'll try anything and almost all of the time I like it. So yeah, sushi is like one of my favorites for sure.
Mine
Have
too.
you ever tried other sushi?
No, I don't like fish. All those sea creatures weird me out.
Have you tried it though? Or you
No.
just don't?
I ate salmon as a kid, like until I was 6, and I've never touched a fish ever since.
Dude, your taste buds change. You'll probably love it. There's a whole world out there for you, Dan.
I don't think so. It's not for me.
All right.
Dan,
You like edamame?
I like edamame. Oh yeah, we can f some edamame up together.
great, good. Green beans. Anyway, Jake Miller, everybody. Thanks for
Edamame
hanging
and
out.
cats.
I appreciate
Thanks,
you,
guys.
man.
Love you guys. Thanks for having me.